With the provision of the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 1046, place 1975, C231, S1 amended 2006, C70, S2, the Asbury Park Board of Education has provided adequate notice of this meeting by sending a notice at the time, date, location, and to the extent known, the agenda of this meeting to the Asbury Park Press and the New Coaster on December 15th, 2017 by email. Copies of this notice have been placed at the Administration Building, Bulletin Board, District Schools, Asbury Park Municipal Building, Asbury Park Police Department, and filed with the City Clerk on December 15, 2017. Our mission statement, Asbury Park School District will provide all students with a comprehensive and progressive education where everyone possesses the skills and character to succeed in a diverse, evolving global society. Mr. Hastings, roll call, please.
Ms. Breach, Mr. Grillo.
Here.
Ms. Jones, Mr. LaRocca,
Here.
Ms. Lozinski,
Here.
Mr. Pinckney, Mr. Saunders,
Here.
Ms. Etienne,
Here.
Ms. Abez Anderson.
Here.
Please stand for the flag salute. Our pledge
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam President, it would be inappropriate if we could have a moment of silence for the member of the Hard Hat Nation that lost his life the other day, a tragic accident.
At this time, we will have a moment of silence, please. Thank you. Madam Superintendent, we have a presentation.
No. Oh, okay.
Then we have your report, please.
Yes.
Good evening. Very delighted to share some more recent happenings in my report tonight. Obviously, we're not in session. School is not in session. So the typical demographic data that I normally present, I will forego. As was shared earlier, delighted to be one of 7 schools that was accepted to be a partner with Disney and the NJPAC for Disney in Schools performance. This partnership will occur in our after-school program. It will be a continuation, an addition of the very innovative programs that we have. We are very fortunate that we will have resident artists from the NJPAC that will come in and work with our district staff, train our staff. At the same time, our students will be direct beneficiaries of having theater, musical, and theatrical training. Our play and performance that we'll put on will be 101 Dalmatians. Aligned with the innovative programs that we had this past summer in our summer STEAM with 2 A's, arts and athletics, we were very fortunate to continue with our lacrosse program. So much so that a representative from the regional lacrosse division came out to observe the fine work that we've been doing with our coaches, and it's garnered some interest because now this is our 2nd year of having lacrosse in our district, so much so that Lacrosse Magazine is very interested in doing an impact article regarding lacrosse in the Asbury Park School District. So kudos to Dr. Howard, the athletic department, and team. We have 2 phenomenal young coaches, Brian Wilderman and Lauren Arnone, who have spearheaded that initiative, and it's really grown. Although they didn't beat us in the staff game, just want to put that out there. It was their 2nd year, they really had us working hard.
They were outnumbered.
Like, I really had to sweat a lot, which, if you know me, that's not difficult, but another story, another time. Excited that our special ed department is continuing to support the innovative programs that we're putting in special ed with Job Embedded PD. Mr. Bramley is our interim director for special ed, and we were able to have a music program specifically for our students there. And so continuing along that and being very thoughtful and focused is continuing to yield the results that we're looking for. And we continue to align our goals as a district to support funding in those critical areas as we've discussed in finance and basically in all of our committees. We understand the budgetary future and forecast, and so making sure that we have innovative programs that will support future funding opportunities is key. And so Ms. Debbie Sylvia and her team at the high school continue to move forward with our pre-college programs, our dual college enrollment programs, and all of those wonderful programs that we've had our students in over the summer, because we want to make sure we're preparing them for the future of STEM. And so I just want to continue to shout out the executive committee for the great work that they're doing, and thank the board for their continued support in our district initiatives that have garnered the this kind of notification. Have garnered this notice and recognition for the district. I was recently asked by the Asbury Park Press to highlight if we have anything we want to highlight, and those are the programs, along with our Ospreys and partnership with Conserve Wildlife New Jersey, that will be featured in an upcoming article.
Thank you, Madam Superintendent. And now public participation in accordance with Board Policy 0167. You may please, if you have a comment or question, you may come to the podium. State your name and address, please.
Sure. My name is Kevin Strickland. I am from 1109 2nd Avenue, right behind the building here. I moved in Asbury Park about 3 years ago. And when I did, I saw some signs on the ground. They were advertising needing help for Asbury Park Little League. And I coached Little League with my kids when they were young, and I said, let me see if I can help out. So the past 3 years, I've been helping out Danny McKee with the Little League program. So that leads me to why I'm here. I think that there is an opportunity for the Board of Education in the district to better serve the community, do it at no cost, and do it in such a... You can hear me okay, can't you?
I heard no call.
And get a better return on assets. So in a lot of the discussions I've heard
Sir,
tonight...
Sir,
Yes.
use the mic, please.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Thank you.
Should I walk around too? I'm running for office?
You're fine right there.
All right.
Thank you.
So those are the three elements that I want to talk about today. And my observation since I've been here and how I've been impaired as a coach is that the fields in Asbury Park School are locked. The kids cannot get into them. Okay? I don't know if this is news to you or not, but when I was coaching Little League, I would go try to get on the field. It'd be a beautiful Saturday afternoon, and the fields are locked, and there's no kids on. Now, more recently, came to my attention because the field right behind here, the soccer field, is also locked. Now, that hasn't stopped people from, of course, playing because they climb over the field. But my recommendation would be to look at the fields, open them up, and make them available to the kids to play. Now, I know that opens a whole other can of worms that has a million reasons why this has issues. But the fact is, if the kids are not playing ball on the field, they're someplace else. So, clearly stated, my request would be to open the fields, make them available to the kids, take the restrictions off so that the kids can play and the coaches can assist in supporting the kids. My question would be, what do we have to do to make that happen? And I know that we talked earlier, there was a conversation about people coming in saying you should do this and you should do that. I'm here to tell you I'm here to help. And I have demonstrated that already. So my request would be to take the locks off the field and make it available to the kids. What do I have to do to make that happen?
Fields currently should be open from dawn to dusk. We talked about that briefly. There are concerns, obviously, with damage and those sorts of things, particularly at the field behind us here, and concerns from other local residents about the activities and the noise and those sorts of things. But the committee, Buildings and Grounds Committee, has met and has worked on this for quite a while in terms of getting the appropriate balance of access So as I said, they should be open during daylight hours. It's a little more difficult over the summer because that extends obviously until 8, sometimes 8:30, I guess. And staff is not necessarily here to lock them up. And then in terms of the use, as you probably know, Mr. McKee and the Little League does have a application regularly approved to utilize the fields over at the high school, and they use them or have them booked in the spring and summer almost all day, every day. So.
Well, part of that doesn't stand up to the test of accuracy because I, as a coach, was unable to get on those fields because they were locked up. So I know that as a fact. The second thing I think a lot of people don't realize is that the money invested in that field to put up the scoreboard, to put up the lights, was all put in by Little League. And now, as time has gone on, particularly this last year, access to that field has been taken away. So the keys that I had were taken away. The ability to turn the lights on and off were taken away. So it's been getting more restrictive as opposed to more open.
Right, so there was a 10-year agreement when that improvement was made, and that unfortunately has expired.
You know, and I only bring that up just as a point of reference because getting back to the comments earlier about a situation where people show up and say this is what you should do as opposed to participating. So I'm willing to participate. I just think that's one of the examples where somebody did participate, Danny in particular, did put in the initiative to build that field that everybody benefits from. So I go back to my original statement at the beginning, zero cost, improve the ROI on the assets so they're utilized more effectively, and a return to the community and the kids.
Well, we thank you very much. We'll refer that to Buildings and Ground Chairperson.
Okay, so how should I follow up?
So just leave your contact information,
Yeah,
okay, with Mr. Hastings?
okay.
All right?
All right, very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir.
And the other thing I want to add to this is I know that as board members, you guys are very active in the town, in the community, and I don't think you guys get the recognition that you deserve for that activity as well.
Well, we appreciate that. Thank you very much, sir.
Great, thank you
You
very
have a
much.
real good evening and a good holiday.
You too, thanks.
Thank you. Anyone else for public participation?
It is now closed. Okay, our state monitor is met with us this evening. Mr. Hastings, acceptance of minutes, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Could we get a motion for page A1, number 9, A, B, and C?
And
Second.
Okay, Ms. Lozinski, second.
Questions or comments?
Yes, thank you. Question or comments? Okay, roll call, Mr. Hastings, please.
Ms. Etienne?
Yes.
Ms. Lozinski?
Yes.
Mr. Grillo?
Yes.
Mr. LaRocca?
Yes.
Mr. Saunders?
Yes.
Ms. Abez Anderson?
Yes.
Thank you. And could we have a motion for item 10 on A1?
Oh, for the organizational chart. Need a motion?
Second.
Question? Roll call?
Ms. Etienne?
Yes.
Ms. Lozinski?
Yes.
Mr. Grillo?
Yes.
Mr. LaRocca?
Yes.
Mr. Saunders?
Yes.
Ms. Abez Anderson?
Yes.
Thank you.
Before we I turn it over to our superintendent for a consent agenda, I just wanted to make sure that all members, did you receive my email regarding the certification for the board?
Yes.
Okay, so we all understand where we are. Any questions regarding that? Okay. What I will say to you is that even though it will look as though we're not going to be where we need to be, we're going to continue to have our professional development and continue to move forward. So do not be discouraged. Madam Superintendent? consent agenda?
Okay, good evening, Madam President, members of the board. I'd like to make the recommendation for a consent agenda for items pages B1 to B13.
I'll move it.
Second.
Question?
I have a question. Are we, is that with removing the comic book club until we check if it's been approved or not? Or what are we doing with that? And is that with the, And the addition of the athletic competition policy that we discussed.
You're asking to do what with the athletic competition policy?
We talked in the work session about including that as a first reading with the changes that I had mentioned.
Yes, as a
okay.
first reading.
Okay.
Correct.
And the comic book club, are we?
Yes, we can place that one on hold.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, Mr. Hastings? Roll call.
Thank you, Madam President. Ms. Lozinski?
Yes.
Ms. Alves Anderson?
Yes.
Mr. Grillo?
Yes.
Mr. LaRocca?
Yes.
Mr. Saunders? Ms. Etienne? All items carry.
Okay. Mr. Hastings?
Thank you, Madam President. Could I get a motion for all items C1 number 1 to C5 number 2?
Move.
Second. Question? Roll call. Mr. Hastings?
Mr. LaRocca?
Yes.
Ms. Etienne?
Yes, except I'm abstaining from C1, item 1,
The bills and claims issue?
19X0221.
Mr. Grillo?
Same, yes to everything except for EO number,
Yep, your reimbursement.
yep.
Thank you. Ms. Lozinski?
Yes.
Mr. Saunders?
Yes.
Ms. Alves Anderson?
Yes, but I'm abstaining on 19X0221.
Thank you. All items carry.
Anything else, members? I need a motion to close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Have a wonderful